It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new comparison. This week we look at Dawn of the Dead. Our original was directed by George A. Romero in 1978, and that's where we'll begin. We start with a strong opening device, a chaotic newsroom, providing plot and hijinks. I love how individual staff gradually give up throughout the course of the opening, passing the reins to others and jumping ship. Their responsibility is finished. It's quite eye-watering how the attitudes of some of the early characters still mirror the attitudes of today. Immigrants and asylum seekers housed in hotels, how dare they? Willie, the crazed cop, comes around. It's horrendous, and that's precisely the point. As the plot unfolds, the narrative structure can make it tricky to follow what's happening at first. Perhaps that's deliberate to reflect the frantic start, who knows? That confusion soon peters out once they hit the shopping centre, however. The characters are contained in location and in number, both good decisions. We get to know Fran, Peter, Roger and Stephen throughout the course of the movie because there are only 4 of them, stuck in one place. They have different ideas of contentment. Stephen wants to stay and make the shopping centre a home. Fran, quite rightly, thinks there's more to life than a fancy coat and a white goods store on your doorstep. At one point, Fran despairingly declares, "What have we done to ourselves?" The impact of their isolation laid bare. She is seemingly useless, standing there as Stephen hilariously body slams a zombie during the helicopter refueling, but then again, the undead aren't your everyday hazard, so perhaps it was shock. I think the turning point for her character is the discussion about whether to abort the baby she's carrying. She's out of the room, smoking away, but within earshot, not even part of the conversation initially. In the end, she's the one manning the helicopter, enabling their escape, so a complete turnaround. Of course, there's a lot to enjoy before they get to that point. Cue numerous montages. Smiling for the camera as they take money from the bank. Pick and mix. Ice skating. Coffee. Golf. Clothes. Hairdressing. Atari. All the fun at the shopping centre. The music is something of a mixed bag. The chanting featuring monkey cries during the armory/ammunition stock-up scene is very random, and the ongoing circus, maybe funfair music throughout the shopping centre scenes is just hilarious, and oddly fitting considering how unthreatening the zombies are. And whilst we're on that, call it the limited effects of the time, but many of the zombies look like a cross between a plum and a smurf, flopping about as if they have a stick up their arse, or channeling a swimming boy in the ocean, bobbing about in choppy water. They just aren't very threatening or scary. At one point when the centre is raided, the vandals throw cream pies in their faces and spray water at them as if the zombies are for comic effect, rather than a great threat to humanity. A few moments do pull the effects back from the brink though. The gang member mauled by zombies during a blood pressure check is brilliant. Another gang member had his insides pulled to the outside, and they are a sight to behold. Stephen getting mauled in the lift is both a very sad moment and a very cool shot. You seeing his perspective, the lift doors open and the zombies lurch forward en masse, very memorable. It's nice to see Richard France from the Crazies appear briefly as Dr. Millard Rausch as well. And as a side, there's something very satisfying about the Foley sound of shoes on supermarket flooring. Random observation of the week goes to me. We can't leave the 70s without addressing the dialogue. Romero is just so consistently strong with it. As Roger declares so poetically, "Perfect, baby. Perfect." We've popped some of our favourite quotes in the description, so have a neb and let us know if you agree, or have any new ones. And so to 2004, where we join the Snyderverse. As directorial debuts go, well done Zack Snyder. From the first scene we're given a glimpse of what's to come. A doctor and nurse, the latter a key character, Sarah Polly's Anna, discussing a patient with a bite mark. And from there it doesn't take long for the action to kick off. There's a nice nod to the original early on with the delivering of information, a news bulletin that is incidentally missed by the main characters. When we get to our first action sequence, it's savage. Sad, scary, frenetic, bloody. The zombies are fast and strong and dangerous. They are quite a contrast to the impact of the zombies from the original movie. At this point though, Viewers have had decades to adjust. Horror, gore wasn't so new by 2004. The music choices early on are very welcome. Have a Nice Day by the Stereophonics is tongue-in-cheek, and the vocals of Johnny Cash are a beautiful, haunting fit with the genre. We're treated to dialogue courtesy of James Gunn, an interesting choice considering his previous screenplay was Scooby-Doo. It's perhaps not as strong as Romero's original, but there are still plenty of zingers to enjoy. I think perhaps CJ was particularly fun to write. The decision to get straight to the shopping centre action is a good one, complete with awful generic mall music. Get your characters all together in one place quickly and start the show. Like it. The addition of some new characters later is also done quickly and effectively. Even if you do wonder why one of them is allowed in at all, she looks pretty much dead already. In the remake it feels like there is much more going on, so despite the small number of characters in the original working well, the addition of more characters in the remake does make sense. And it does mean more expendable characters too. There are some great lighter moments in what is a very intense movie. Games of chess across the divide between the mall and a gun shop, owned by Andy, a lone survivor who befriends the group from a distance, communicating via message boards. And later a new game, Shoot the Zombie. Rosie O'Donnell, Burt Reynolds, it makes for some nice character progression. As per the original, we get montages, not just quick, effective ways of getting to know the characters, moments of levity, but also allowing us to see the implementation of a plan. Zombie truck reinforcement. They work, particularly with the mall music. Can't get enough of that mall music. By far the best character arc belongs to Michael Kelly's CJ. At the start of the film, he's a complete territorial dick. By the end, he's enjoying all out of love by air supply in the elevator and is a fully fledged member of the group. The remake offers a new level of peril and emotional investment. When it's established that the bites are the cause, some of the group have already been bitten. It's harsh and gut-wrenching. The use of lighting, or lack of, in the underground car park and birth sequence make for very effective moments. There's real peril, real horror, something largely missing from the original. We're treated to some cool cameos, most notably Ken Foree from the original, appearing as a preacher declaring, "When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth." Look out for one of the main gang members from the original also, this time appearing as a sheriff on the news, competently dispatching zombies. The ending feels very Left 4 Dead. If you've played the game, you'll know. High stakes, some regrettably left to perish in the fray. What happens next is open to interpretation. Ultimately, in terms of original versus remake, it's not an entirely fair comparison. They feel like different movies with different messages. If we're talking horror alone, the remake is by far the scarier of the two. I'll never understand this mentality though. There's an apocalyptic event, so people come in and destroy other groups, as per The Walking Dead. Would this happen? Makes for good drama, I suppose, but realistic, who knows? Perhaps a bit of naivety on display on my part. Anyway, musing complete, let us know your thoughts. And as always, have fun storming the castle. Thanks very much for listening. If you'd like to contact us or check out what we've been up to, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you enjoyed the video today, please do like it, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell to receive notifications about new videos. See you in the next one.